Just how accessible is Disney's transport system?
We knew about four main modes of transportation at Disney World before we went. They have the monorail, the Skyliner, the buses, and the boat systems.
But we wanted to know just how accessible these modes of transportation are.
Yeah, most of the videos that we could find before our trip were good at showing the fact that there were different modes and they said that they were accessible, but they didn't actually show the process of getting on and off these different transportation modes.
But we're going to show you this today.
So stick around, let's go ride.
What's really cool to know about these Disney transport systems is that they're totally free with your resort reservation.
Yeah, you just go out to wherever you need to be and hop on whatever mode.
Yeah, so let's take the first one. I think everybody's favorite is the monorail.
Yep, everybody wants to talk about the monorail.
I found that from my experience, the monorail was the fastest form of transportation. I mean, it will get you there in a heartbeat.
It's a zip. Yeah.
There is a couple of monorail tracks that we rode. The first one is the Monorail Express, which really just takes you around the Magic Kingdom. It just takes you right back around the circuit and makes it stop there. And then there was the Monorail Resort, which took you to the resorts that were there, and you could actually stop at some of them. We actually stopped at the Grand Floridian, and we'll talk about that later in a future episode. It is important to know that security will screen you before you get up on the monorail, so just be aware of that.
And if you have a backpack like I do for the wheelchair, they're going to want to take your backpack and look through it, but they are extremely respectful about how they did things. They were just very cautious when they opened up my purse. I had like a crossbody purse for my key card and money and stuff like that. They were super, super respectful.
And I found that the monorail was a very scenic ride, but you should be aware that they will shut down the monorail if there is a bad thunderstorm nearby. So we are going to see how accessible the monorail is. We are on the orange line and we are accessing it from Magic Kingdom. And I see they have a ramp there that they use for one spot, and they're passing it over to Holly. There she goes. There she goes. Up into the train.
And I guess something, for me to say about the monorail is that they do use ramps, and the ramps they use are pretty standard throughout some of their other transportation as well. So if you get comfortable with the ramps on one of the different modes, you're pretty much going to know what to expect for the other. So that was encouraging. It wasn't like a lot of adjustments over and over. But on the monorail, there are no tie downs. They don't tie you down. They don't put chucks under your wheels or anything like that.
I guess not this time. But I noticed that we're pretty much in our own space.
So I preferred to scoot myself up against like the metal pole that like if you're standing in there and you need to hold on to the pole. So I don't know, it just made me feel a little more secure, but overall I felt fine anyway.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really concerned about it. For me though, that ride was not so scenic. So for Tim, it was really scenic, but for me, not so much, because they do want you to go into the train in a particular direction. And that has to do with like how you're going to be unloading once you get there. So for me, I was often facing the opposite direction. So I saw a lot of trees. And I guess if you want to consider that scenic, it was pretty. And especially when we got over this one area that was like a wetlands area, that was kind of cool, but it was trees, So I was not able to see a ton of the resorts or anything like that. Now on one of the lines, I saw more.
Yeah.
So that was good. The monorail is not cramped. I don't know if it typically is, but it was not cramped for us. There was always plenty of space. And it's cool because they don't have just like a handicap accessible car that you have to ride in. You can pretty much get on any of them. They just have to direct you to which one has an open space. So that was really cool. I didn't really feel like it felt very inclusive. I could ride in any of the cabins that were open at the moment. But ironically, thought going into this experiment that the monorail was going to be my favorite, but it was not. We'll talk about our favorites later, so hang tight for that. That's coming.
So next we're going to be covering the Skyliner.
Yep.
Where are you going today, Holly?
I guess if you get me on a boat, you're going to get me up in the air too. So we're going to ride the Skyliner now.
Yeah. Look at that. You feeling brave? For those of you who are not familiar with a Skyliner, it roughly resembles a ski lift, except that it's closed off entirely.
It's like gondolas, isn't that what they call them?
I think they are called gondolas, yeah. And when we first looked at them, we thought they were low to the ground because the way that they enter and lift off is actually pretty close to the ground. But when I got on there, I discovered that they actually go very high.
Yeah.
Oh, it moves a little faster than I thought. Sorry. Oh, we're going. Okay, nice. It's okay, love. It's okay. Ooh. Okay. I'm not. Yeah. This can be frightening for small children or other people who might be afraid of heights. So just keep this in mind, and also keep in mind that these things will also swing from side to side, so that can be a little bit discomforting for some people. When I got up there, I felt afraid because I wasn't used to it being that high, and the fact that it takes you over forests and bodies of water and major highways.
Yeah, even a highway. Yeah.
But we did find that it is a wonderful mode of transportation and a very safe one too.
Yeah.
They will shut down the gondola rides if there's too much thunderstorm activity in the area.
And it is Florida, so in the summertime you can pretty much expect that at some point each day they're probably going to cease operations for a little while. So just be mindful. It's usually in the mid-afternoon, like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I'd say anywhere from 3 to 5 would probably be more accurate. And I think it's probably important to mention here at this point that neither of us are like your most adventuresome people in the world.
Here we go.
We like ordinary adventures. We like discovering things and exploring, but we're not like thrill seekers, so to speak. So for us, riding the Skyliner was basically like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know, it was a different experience. So I think for me, what was potentially the most scary at first was that I knew that just from observing that the Skyliner kept moving. It was like on a continuously moving track, but like Tim said, it would slow down at times for people to hop on. But I thought it was like they will slow it way down and then you hop on. So I was thinking I was going to have to potentially time my getting on perfectly. And I'm a good driver, but I'm not that good. So I was very encouraged to know that what they do for people in wheelchairs is that when there is a gondola coming that, you know, wheelchair can get onto, and I think they're all accessible. I don't think it's like there is an accessible gondola. I think they're all accessible, but what they do is they pull it out of rotation, like off the track, and they have like a separate little section, and they bring it to a complete stop, and you don't need a ramp. There's no ramp. There's no threshold. It's just like perfectly flat. It comes flush with the platform that you're on. So you roll into it and you know, just pull up to where they tell you to. They want you to pull all the way over to one side, and then you've got the benches on either side of you. So you can still have people ride with you. Yeah. And that's cool. I don't think there's enough room for 2 wheelchairs unless they're very small, and I'm not even sure they would want to do that. But there's plenty of room for like a wheelchair and their companions, family, friends, you know, whatever.
And because you're so high up, the gondolas actually offer some of the best views of any of the rides there.
They do. I have to say that this one was very scenic.
Yeah.
It was very easy to see a lot, and it was just, you know, kind of exhilarating. One thing that I would point out is that we were there in the summertime, so it was very, very hot. And when you first get into it, it's not moving moving, so it's extremely hot in the cabin. And I thought this is going to be a really uncomfortable ride. But the moment you start moving, I don't necessarily think it's air conditioned. I think what it is it's vented.
Yeah.
So that as you move, air from outside is pulled in and it blows the heat up. I don't know.
I actually saw the vents up at the top.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't know, maybe it is air conditioned. Like maybe they do blow cool air in. I don't know, but I know that we didn't feel the cool until we started moving.
Yeah.
And then it was very pleasant.
It was very pleasant when it was moving. Yeah.
You could, because a storm was coming while we were still on there, and I think it shut down shortly after we got out.
Yeah.
But the wind was definitely blowing because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we were swinging a good bit. You could feel the wind gusts.
I don't think we were swinging a lot. We were swinging a little, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like you're swinging uncontrollably, but it was definitely noticeable. But I don't think it would be like that if it wasn't coming a storm. They do also put chucks behind your wheels. Mm-hmm. So there's not like a true restraint system, but they do put these chucks behind your wheels to keep you from, scooting around. So I think it's also important to note that you can't travel the entire distance from like Epcot to Hollywood Studios or vice versa. There is like a transportation center, like a hub, and you ride as far as you can, then you have to get off that line and transfer to another one. So we did have to transfer, and there's people at all locations to help you on and off safely in your wheelchair. They, even if you're not getting off at a stop, they open the door and check in on you and make sure you're okay.
Yeah, so they will be checking on you.
Yeah,
so that's good.
They do pipe in instructions like into your gondola, so you feel connected with them the whole time.
Yeah.
So, hey, if this is interesting to you, this content is something that you enjoy, please consider subscribing to our channel. We hope to bring you more fun content like this. All right, so you want to move on to buses now?
You been on the water? And you been up in the air? Where are you going now, Holly?
Now I'm getting on a bus.
Yeah, the buses at Disney ran very similar to the buses that you would see in a typical city.
Right.
The biggest difference was there was usually a shorter wait time. It's usually about 15 minutes. Now, this is not like a hard, fast rule.
No.
Sometimes you do wait longer. The time that we went in the Skyliner and then the thunderstorm started moving into the area, we took the buses to get back to our resort. All the other transportation had shut down, so that meant that everybody was flocking to the buses, so we had to wait a while.
Yeah. I think that time we had to wait like 30 minutes or longer.
About, that long, And that was probably not one of our better bus experiences because there was a lot of people that were just standing.
It was like sardine. Yeah.
But that was fortunately not our only bus experience.
Right.
We had several others, which were a lot better.
Right.
One of the things that's really neat about the buses is some of them are wrapped with the appearance of Disney characters on the windows, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they are all wrapped in some way, but some of them have like really big, elaborate character scenes. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and the other thing is I've even noticed that on a few of the buses they have USB ports so you can charge your phone while you're waiting.
Right.
Now, one of the issues that we did have with accessibility is that there are only 2 places on the bus where they can position a wheelchair.
Right, for each bus.
And if those positions are both filled up, that means that you have to wait for the next similar bus to pick you up. So we have had to miss a bus or 2 because of that. But it's also important to keep in mind, we came during the time of the annual Cure SMA conference, and so there were a lot of people in wheelchairs.
Tons of people in wheelchairs, yeah.
So just because this was our experience doesn't mean that this is going to be your experience at Disney.
Right. And also it's important just to remember that, like Tim already said, the wait is very short. So even if you have to skip one of the buses and wait for the next one, you're not going to have to wait for very long.
There's always going to be another bus.
Right.
You just got to be a little bit patient.
Right.
And one of the things I did like about the bus stations is they generally had some fans that could help cool you off while you were waiting outside.
Yeah, I think all of the bus stops that we used, I believe they all were covered too, weren't they?
They were all covered.
I don't remember stopping at one that wasn't.
And most of them had working digital screens that would tell you when the next bus was coming.
Yeah, so you always kind of had a good idea.
Yeah.
So for me, initially the bus routes were my least favorite form of transportation, but it started to grow on me. And the reason it started to grow on me is that regardless of the weather, I think the buses just continue running. I mean, I'm sure they would shut down if it was really, really dangerous, but they're not going to just shut down for a thunderstorm. So regardless of the other types of transportation, they're going to keep running.
Yeah, they're the most reliable.
Yes, they are the most reliable in that regard.
They also cover everywhere. You can pretty much go anywhere you want to through the buses.
All the parks, all the resorts, you can get to by bus. And that's not true with the other modes of transportation. Some of the others are limited to only certain areas. Now, some of the buses have the wheelchair positions on the left, some have them on the right. So I ended up riding sometimes on the left, sometimes on the right. Just because my joystick is on the right, I preferred riding on the left, but I was fine either way.
Yeah.
One of the bus drivers was just delightful. They were all really good, I have to say. They were all really good. But
there was never any hesitation because people had to scratch their heads and figure things out.
No, they were very well trained.
Yes.
And this one particular bus driver, not only was he skilled, he had a great personality. And what was really cool, I think, is that he shared with us as he was unloading me that he used to be a paratransit driver. So he asked me, he said, drive okay or something like that. I don't remember exactly his wording, but I was like, yeah, you did a great job. And he was like, well, I used to drive paratransit. I know that I can't just be slinging y'all around. So he was extremely helpful in that regard. But the buses themselves are very easy to board. When the bus pulls up to the stop, the buses kneel like most modern buses do. So it kneels lower so that the ramp angle is not so steep. The ramp folds right out and you just roll right up on the ramp, and then whenever you're in, they buckle you down. And if you have your own personal vehicle, you're probably familiar with 4-point tie downs. So that's what it was. And then they wrap a seatbelt around you if you're in a position to where they can. And then they fold the ramp in and load everyone else, and then off you go.
Yeah.
But typically you're the first one on, the last one off.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
And I think that was the case with a lot of our transport systems too.
All right, now let's talk about the boats. Okay, you want me to go first or you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay, now at Disney World there are different types of boats. So we want to qualify right off the bat that we only rode the friendship boats. We did not have time to ride the bigger boat, I forget what it's called, or the ferries. We figured that probably the manner of boarding is pretty similar.
Yeah.
So the friendship boats that we rode in particular were the ones around Crescent Lake, which is between the Disney Beach and Yacht Club and things like Boardwalk and the Swan and Dolphin resorts and some other ones. So that's the
Hollywood Studios, I think, was the other.
Yep, Hollywood Studios. So we rode those boats. The only time that I had ever ridden on a boat before was when I was probably like 5 or 6, maybe something like that. And the boat that I rode on was at Silver Dollar City in Tennessee, which is now Dollywood. And it was not a true boat because it was actually on a track, but it was a track in the water. So that was the closest thing I'd ever ridden on a boat before. These boats are legit boats. They are not on a track system. They are true watercraft, and they function like watercraft. So I was very nervous about that. I wasn't sure how I would feel. I do have to say that it ended up being a lot of fun. It was very, very easy to board. They use the same ramp system that they use for the monorail.
So they're using a ramp to allow her to get onto the boat.
The ramps actually look identical. They're big, heavy metal ramps, so you don't have to worry about like weight. And what they do is they just have you to, line up at the dock, and then they put the ramp down to bridge the gap between the boat and the dock, and you just roll across it. And because, of course, with water, there is some motion. So in the instance where the ramp might lift up a little bit because of the water motion, what they actually do is they put their foot on the ramp and step down on it so that it holds it steady. So at no point did I feel unsafe at all. It was efficient. It got us where we needed to go. But what I really liked about it is that it was so scenic and relaxing.
Yeah.
the captains of the boats that we rode, and I guess the first mate, if that's what you want to call it, they were super kind, super professional. Some of them were funny. Overall, it was a very pleasant experience.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I liked about it as well is that if you chose to ride around 9 o'clock at night when they do the fireworks, then you're able to see the fireworks from the boat.
Yeah.
And then you see all the sparkle over the water. And if you know me, I'm a sparkly girl. And I absolutely love that. In a storm, of course, because you're on water, they do shut the boats down.
Sorry, folks, due to lightning area, the boats are not running at this time. We do recommend other forms of transportation.
So there was that, and there was one point at which we wanted to ride a boat to get from point A to point B, but we couldn't because the storm was coming in. So I think that's my 2 cents worth.
So yeah, just reiterating what Holly said, we had no trouble getting on and off the boats.
No.
The captain and staff were very well trained. They knew exactly what they've done.
Yes.
And they seem to have practiced this several times in the past.
Very familiar with it. You could tell it was, they didn't even think about it.
There was always a ramp at every dock, no matter where the boat went. They offered a free transportation between Hollywood Studios and also Epcot too.
Yeah.
You could get there by boat as well.
Or if you're like us, you just go joyriding.
Yeah.
You can just hop on the boat and ride because you want to.
Yeah, and that's actually what we did at times.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I had to psych Holly up a little bit for this and tell her, hey, the bigger the boat, the safer it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not anymore. It was a blast.
But like Holly said, when we started noticing the lightning from the Skyliner, and we decided we wanted to go back to our resort a different way, we first were considering the boats, and they told us that it was too dangerous to ship off. So we wound up having to take the bus. What is your favorite transportation system over at Walt Disney World? Please let us know over in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. We want to hear from you. So, since they're going to be telling us their favorites, should we share our favorites now?
Oh, definitely. What was your favorite?
So, let's rank them, okay? So, do you want me to do all 4 in order, or do you want to do one at a time?
Just do all 4 in order, and then tell me the reasons why.
Okay, so my favorite in order were the boat, and then the Skyliner, which ironically, those were the 2 I was the most afraid of. And then the bus, and then the monorail, which surprised me because when this whole thing started, I thought the monorail was going to be my favorite.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be my least favorite. The boat was my most favorite because I guess really it was relaxing. It served a purpose and it was fun, but it was also just relaxing. I am definitely an extrovert, but I'm also low key, if that makes sense. So I don't need a lot to make me happy. So hopping on the boat, riding around the lake, looking at the different places, that was just like one of the highlights of the trip for me. So I love that. The Skyliner, the reason that it was probably like second for me is that it was very easy to get to. We could, get there in just a few minutes and it would take you a lot of places. And it was its own form of excitement. Oh my gosh. The Skyliner itself is like a ride.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. So even if you weren't going to a park, if you just ride the Skyliner, you get some excitement and it gives you that little adrenaline rush. So that was kind of fun. The bus for me fell in third place. It was trusty old standby buses.
Yeah, faithful.
Old faithful.
It sure is faithful.
Yeah, it's going to be there and it goes to all the areas that you need. So I found that just to be comforting, I guess. I never felt stranded anywhere, even when the other modes of transportation shut down because of weather.
Yeah.
And then the monorail. So why did it fall in last place?
Ironically, you thought it'd be first.
Yeah, I thought it would be first. So for me, the reason it fell in last place was not because it was a bad experience. I still enjoyed it. It was good. Would I do it again? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. But the reason that it fell at the end for me is because I couldn't see that much. I had to get into the monorail, get loaded in, and they wanted me sitting a particular way. And because I was seated a particular way, I couldn't see anything behind me. And I was seated crossways, so I couldn't see like on either side because
Yeah.
there were people there.
I could see him, but Holly couldn't. So
Right.
that was one of the difficulties there.
Yeah, so I could see out the window in front of me, and frequently what I was seeing was like trees. But with that being said, I was high up on the track, so you could still see good stuff. It was
Yeah.
just not, you couldn't see all the park stuff and all that. So
Yeah.
so it wasn't my favorite, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think another reason it wasn't as high on my likes list was because it was a short thrill.
Yeah.
It was a
Very
thrill,
short.
but it was a short thrill. So, you know, you get that initial exhilaration and then you're like, oh, wait, that's over, you know? So, yeah, so there's that. But
Yeah.
so those are my 4 in order: boat, Skyliner, bus, monorail.
Yeah.
What about you?
So my favorites were Monorail, boat, and then Skyliner, and then bus.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
reason why I liked the Monorail, ironically, is for the same reason Holly didn't like the Monorail. It's fast.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
get you there real quickly.
Yeah.
If you've got somewhere to go. It doesn't go everywhere, so that should be important to know. We had to take a bus just to get to the monorail.
True, we did. So it's like a transportation to get to a transportation.
But the views were amazing. I really loved them. They're not as high up as the Skyliner, but they're still plenty high the same.
Right.
And I really enjoyed that sort of fast pace, and you get to see a lot of really scenic sights.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And you can actually share the cabin with other people. And then there were people that were actually sitting behind me in another cabin.
In the same car.
In the same car that I could talk to if I really wanted to. But I was usually just interested in where the train was going.
Yeah.
Then the other one was the boats. I love the boats. The boats,
Yeah.
in the daytime, they were really nice because they took you to the boardwalk, the other resort. You could get to the Hollywood studios if you wanted to, and they were just pleasant looking at and being on.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful just having that floating sensation in the water.
Yeah, it's just second to none.
And then if you rode the boat in the evening, it was really romantic because it was like you got to see the fireworks and
true.
just hold the hand.
Now's your moment.
But yeah, the boats were really good and they could be really romantic at night.
It was really cool.
And then the buses, I mean, like I say, they're old faithful. They sure are faithful. They're going to be there.
Yep.
They can take you pretty much anywhere you want to go.
Right.
If the bus that is over at your area can't take you there directly, they can usually take you to a terminal that you can connect with
Correct.
to get to another bus.
Right.
And you can use the bus system to get to other transport systems like the Skyliner and like the monorail.
Yeah.
It's very functional. It's usually not that scenic, but it's a little scenic because you do get to see things
get a little
along
bit.
the way. And that's because I've ridden city buses over and over again, but I hadn't ridden the monorail and I hadn't ridden the Skyliner. That's kind of why the bus sort of fell in last place for me.
Gotcha. So it was a little bit more run of the mill.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
daily stuff.
Yeah.
One thing that I'll add too about the monorail is that, and by the way, I keep looking off because there are dragonflies flying around here. I'm just half expecting one to fly in at any minute. But one thing I'll add about the monorail is that I enjoyed it enough that it makes me want to ride a train again. So some train somewhere, I want to hop on a train. What was cool about this entire transportation experience is that I've only ever ridden in personal vehicles or like an ambulance or something like that. I had never ridden in a bus, even in school, not in a bus. My parents took me to and from school. So I never ridden in a bus, never rode in a boat, and never rode on a sky lift.
Yeah.
Of any sort. So
I hadn't ridden on the Skylift either.
Yeah. So it was cool, and I had not ridden on a train. So the monorail experience definitely made me want to go on trains more. The boat experience made me for sure want to take a cruise.
Now, I've been on trains before, but the trains we have are not like the monorail.
Right. No, they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah. So we now showed you Disney's 4 main modes of transportation.
And you know how people in wheelchairs get around Disney World.
Yep. So we hope you have fun exploring, and we hope that this will lead to more adventures for you too.
So get out there and make some memories, and we hope you have fun exploring the happiest place on earth.
Bye.
Bye.